Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this particular session. So I think you can allow me we have 4 more minutes as we're still allowing people into the meeting. So give us like 4 more minutes. We can start at exactly 10:10 as you're allowing other participants to log into the session. So as you're waiting to start at exactly 10:10, this is the program for the day. It's an 1-hour session, and what you're looking at covering is participants logging into the session. We have a video that we'd like to share about the Tractors for Africa initiative, and the video will be able to show you the kind of work that we do in partnership, Heifer does in partnership with Hello Tractor. I'm going to take us through a round of introductions so that you can be able to know the team that is on board. We'll get to talk about the Tractors for Africa, let you know also about how to apply for the tractor financing. Then we'll have a question and answer session, wrap up, and we finish at exactly 11 a.m. So currently we have just 2 more minutes and then we'll begin the session. So for those of you who have just logged in, welcome to the Tractors for Africa Infosession. We're looking at having a very engaging session, 1-hour engaging session. And this will also allow you as a participants to be able to ask any question, if there's any clarification. That's why we're having this particular session. This session is in partnership with Hello Tractor, and we're going to also tell you what Hello Tractor does, and also who is Hello Tractor. And also you get to know about who is Heifer International. So we're going to begin in a minute's time. So 1 more minute to go, and then we're going to start the session. So it's exactly 10:10, and I think I would want us to have the session so that we can utilize the time as much as possible. So once again, good morning to the Tractors for Africa Infosession. This is an infosession organized by Heifer International in partnership with Hello Tractor. So we're also going to give you an overview or just an understanding of who Heifer is and who Hello Tractor is. So let me start first by introducing myself. I'm Elizabeth Wamboi. I work for Heifer International, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. So I want to also, just before we start, it would be good to just take you through the rules and the guidelines that you just will use to guide this particular meeting. So I would also first suggest that we kindly ensure that our microphones are off so that we can be able to hear each other well as we don't have any distractions. We're going to have a question and answer session. So we'll allow, if you have any burning question, you can utilize the chat box. We'll be able to pick up the questions from there, but also we'll be having the question and answer session that is purely dedicated to you asking your questions and us responding to it. So at that particular time, if you also want to switch off your, turn on your video and also your audio, kindly just raise your hand. And then we're going to ask you to ask your question. Kindly be as brief as possible, as clear as possible. The other thing is feel free to ask any question, and that's why we're having this particular session, so that we can be able to respond to your questions. So just before we begin, I would like to ask my colleague Francis to just play a video to give you an overview about the Tractors for Africa and what we do in partnership with Hello Tractor. Francis, could you kindly share the video?
Saizi ni kama miaka karibu 10 nikifanya tu kulima. Changamoto yenye wakulima wenzangu wanapitia ni kama trakta hakuna karibu, wanakuwa na shida kwa upande wa ukulima kama kuna trakta karibu. Lakini kwa vile tumepata trakta,
kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia ng'ombe kulima, alafu tukarudi tukaanza kutumia tingatinga. Kupata tingatinga ilikuwa ngumu, lakini kwa sababu tingatinga lazima itoke huko sehemu za Rift Valley. Tulikuwa tunapata tingatinga kupitia broker. Unaweza ongea na broker kama this week, akuletee tingatinga after 2 weeks hivi.
You know, you can ring somebody that you want the tractor within a certain time, but he also has other customers. So instead of telling you that I'll come on Friday, Friday comes, he doesn't come. The following week, he doesn't come. When he comes now, he's a bit late. You'll be forced to plant late, and you might not be fortunate if the rains don't work out well for you.
It was very difficult to get a tractor to do mechanization. So farmers were suffering. So I started helping farmers by talking to some tractor owners to come and help us. By the time I was receiving the tractor in January 20th, I had aggregated 1,800 acres that needed plowing. That's why Hello Tractor gave me that tractor without any down payment. I've gone to several places to seek a way in which I can own a tractor. I've gone to several banks. I'd even saved with a bank, a certain bank, and they gave me a lot of requirements that as a lay farmer I could not be able to meet. It's an uphill task. So as I compare the other credit facilities arrangement and this Hello Tractor pay as you go, this one is just a walk-off. Whatever I was asked was my photocopy of my ID and KRA pin. All those 2 requirements. Those are the documents I submitted, and I own this tractor.
Capital can unlock the opportunity within the sector, but commercial banks aren't lending. And so we came into the market with a different hypothesis. And that's when we launched the pay-as-you-go tractor finance product supported by Heifer International. This product identifies community-based booking agents who have pre-identified and pre-booked enough farmers in the Hello Tractor app to actually absorb an entire tractor themselves. We identify those booking agents, finance the right equipment for them to now become tractor owners themselves, servicing the farmers in their network directly. And as they service that demand, they're making small loan repayments based on the usage of the tractor. So it's a pay-as-you-go model. So we have GPS monitoring devices embedded into all of the tractors, and our account managers actively monitor how much work each tractor is doing. And repayments are tied to the work that is completed, and we collect every single week. We started here in Kenya with our first 6 borrowers, and we've already seen phenomenal results out of our borrowers as compared to the over 3,000 tractors that we have currently operating in our marketplace. On average, let's just take February, a tractor owner did roughly 45 farms in the month. Our pay-as-you-go borrowers did 175 farms. So there's a significant increase in the productivity of these tractor owners who are financed under our program to reach more farm communities with tractor services.
Sasa kukuwa na trakta kwa kijiji chetu itatusaidia sana, sababu tuko na wakulima wenye wanalima season zote.
This is a good development in the area, in the sense that we will now be hopeful of getting our farms done before the rains, and that would be very good for the area.
Raundi naona nimelipa kidogo kushinda last year. Shamba yangu haifiki eka, ni nusu. Nilikuwa nalima na 2,500 kitambo. Sai nililipa kidogo, nililipa 17.
Mapato yenye inapata inanisaidia. Kwa sahi mimi nalipwa 10% ya kazi nimefanya. So nikifanya bidii, nifanye eka nyingi, nitapata mapato ya juu. So bidii yangu ndio itanifanya nipate. So inanisaidia, inanilisha watoto, hata kuna masamba nimelima, inanisaidia.
It has really changed my life because I've seen my income increase tremendously, and I've been able to do a lot by repaying the loan, saving for the tractor, and there's still something floating that I can use for my family, paying school fees and all that. In fact, I'm seeing an opportunity of owning another tractor because I have a lot of acreages to service, but one machine is not enough.
We're using these commercial approaches to truly reach deep into the market at the base of the pyramid and impact the lives of smallholder farmers. Over 55% of our customers are receiving tractor services for the first time through Hello Tractor, and it's having a meaningful impact on their revenue because we work almost exclusively with smallholder farmers living at or below the poverty line. So we're excited to see how that is benefiting these communities, both at the household level, but also at the regional food security level.
Thank you, Francis, for that. As you've seen from the video, and apologies for just this, the video just being a little bit slow as the audio was also playing, but we'll be able to avail the video to you. So as you can see from the video, we're looking at several things. There's the entrepreneurship, there's agriculture, there's financing, there's technology, and the most important thing is the smallholder farmers. And all these are what are dear to us as Heifer International, as well as Hello Tractor. And that's why we've come together and brought about the Tractor for Africa initiative. So now I'd like to introduce, for us to just introduce ourselves and the facilitators for the session. So I'd like to start with Heifer International, our representatives, Agnes and Francis. Kindly introduce yourselves.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Agnes Kavatha. I work for Heifer International Kenya.
Francis, you're on mute.
Apologies for that. My name is Francis Mwangi. I work for Heifer International.
Okay, so we also have Rispa from Hello Tractor. Rispa, kindly introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you to each and everyone who has managed to join this morning. My name is Respa Miliza. I am the Digital Sales and Partnerships Leader at Hello Tractor. Pleasure to have all of you on board online. Sorry.
Thank you. So we are the team that will be working with you this 1 hour as we trying to break down what the Tractors for Africa initiative is all about. So now I'd like to introduce my colleague Agnes to talk about what is Tractors for Africa. We have talked about Heifer International, we have talked about Hello Tractor, what came about this, and kindly just get deeper into that. Karibu, Agnes.
Thank you very much, Liz. Yeah, I'll just start by introducing Heifer International. It's an international NGO. We've been in Kenya for over 41 years, and our interest or our area of operation is working with the rural communities to end hunger and poverty. And so far, we've reached over 600 households, approximately 2 million individuals. And we believe that the future is farmers at Heifer. And that is the reason why we work through projects that support smallholder dairy farmers, livestock farmers, poultry farmers, as well as the small ruminants, and to improve their livelihoods by accelerating them towards a living income. A living income is simply a decent income that can allow a household to live a comfortable life. Yeah, and we work through building social capital, where we believe in passing on the gift. And we pass on the gift by building the enterprises that the farmers are engaged in, and by introducing technologies, innovations that can improve their production as well as their market end. And we are very much committed in investing in strategic innovations that advance agriculture. And that is the reason why we partnered with the Hello Tractor from last year to increase mechanization, as you've seen from the earlier video, what mechanization can do, so that we can use mechanization to transform agriculture in Africa and in Kenya. So for that project, we are working with the Tractors for Africa project, or an initiative where we are partnering with Hello Tractor, as I've mentioned. And Hello Tractor are one of our Ayute champions. They are our last year's Ayute champions, and Ayute is Agriculture, Youth and Technology. This is a competition that was led by Heifer Africa to get innovations that can solve the challenges that our smallholder farmers are facing in Africa. And Hello Tractor provides a technology that enhances ownership, tractor ownership, by deploying more tractors through an innovative way of owning tractor, as you've heard from the video. And we'll be getting deeper into that as RISPA gets to present on the innovation. So what the Ayute Challenge presented was, the winner was awarded $1 million US. That is Hello Tractor, and they deployed 17 tractors across 3 African countries, that is Nigeria, Kenya, and Uganda. And as you've heard from the video, Kenya got six tractors in the first round. We'll get to hear more from RISPA, where we are at currently. And through the Tractors for Africa project, we've put in some more $3.5 million US, so that we can deploy more tractors to the 3 countries, and we are looking at deploying 75 more tractors. But the overall goal is in the next years that we get to deploy 50,000 plus tractors, because we have the arable land, we have the capacity, and we have the potential to increase our food security. So what we are currently doing is engaging stakeholders like yourselves and passing the information to you so that you can get to understand this wonderful opportunity. We are also talking with the county government, sensitizing them, farmer organizations, including the cooperatives, youth and women groups, so that they can understand what the Hello Tractor and pay-as-you-go tractor ownership presents to them. We are very, very excited about this opportunity as we look forward to increasing mechanization, which is very, very critical in enhancing and transforming the way we do agriculture in Africa. Thank you very much, and karibuni sana. Let us interact. Let us feel free and learn today. Thank you. Back to you, Liz.
Thank you, Agnes. So now you have an overview of who Hello Tractor is, who Heifer International is, and how they came together to come up with the Tractors for Africa initiative. So now I'd like to call my colleague as well, Rispa, to just take us through what is now Tractors for Africa. What is the aspect of tractor financing? So Rispa, over to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Agnes, for the amazing introduction into the partnership of Heifer International as well with Hello Tractor. And as Agnes mentioned, Hello Tractor is an agri-tech company. We initially provide a solution that allows tractor owners the ability to monitor their equipment. And through the partnership with Heifer International, we have a project, a tractor financing project that is meant to increase the number of tractors in Africa, as well as providing tractor services to smallholder farmers. We do realize that mechanization is quite a challenge in the country and in the continent as a whole. So through the Tractor for Africa project, we are looking at increasing the number of tractors in the country, in the continent, as well as providing services to the millions of smallholder farmers we have across different regions. And so earlier this year, we started the financing project that is meant to bring in more farmers, and we tailor this particular project to the unbanked. So allow me to share my screen and walk you through my presentation. Let me know if you all can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we it's called the Pay As You Go Rent to Own Tractor or Pay As You Go Tractor Financing Program. It's an innovation to support smallholder farmers' mechanization, food security, and rural entrepreneurship. And so when we look at the problem in Africa and do a comparison to other different regions in the world, Sub-Saharan Africa is the lowest. This is in terms of food security, in terms of farmer productivity, stress when it comes to collateral, and diversion of payments, which increase risks. Right? But when you look at countries like the United States, for example, who are performing way above average, when you look at India, whose performance is quite much better than Africa's, and China as well. And so 50% of Africa's yield gap is due to lack of equipment. And these can be attributed to different issues. So one of the biggest is financing, right? When you compare what traditional banks are financing, and you also compare what microfinance are doing, it's quite, would say, inadequate. When you look at, do the comparison in terms of the loan size, right? They can finance $25,000, which translates to around 3 million, which is adequate, yes. But when you come to the risk, it's very low. The underwriting standard, the liquidity, the lending laws are quite strict to ordinary farmers that we have in the market. Because for farmers, majority of the farmers who have the capacity to serve, who require the right capacity to service the farmers, when they walk into such institutions, it's tricky for them because of the requirements that are asked for in these financing institutions. Majority of the farmers, when you walk into a bank, you're required to provide collateral. The down payment is quite high, and for most of them unachievable, which becomes underwhelming for them. And hence they're unable to service not just their own farms, but the farmers that they have across different communities. So we came up with a solution which is tech-enabled, right? So it gives the potential owners, it gives them a way in which they can better manage the equipment in terms of knowing the fuel consumption, customer satisfaction in regards to how their drivers are performing in the field, visibility into the booking side of it, and then the performance of the tractor based on a yearly basis. It also gives them the ability to register their farmers or book their farmers through the booking application. And then it also allows visibility when it comes to repayment, right? So all this is monitored through the Hello Tractor mobile application, which is sort of divided into 2 bits, where we have the tractor owner side of it that allows tractor owners the ability to monitor their tractors, and the booking side of it that allows farmers or community-based agents the ability to book for farmers in their communities. Right. And so based on the tech itself, the project, we have terms, commitment terms or requirements, as you put it. So we only request for 5% down payment, right? The asset value for each contract is estimated at 5 million Kenya shillings. So if you do compare the type or the deposit we request for and the asset value, this is easily received by farmers, by young entrepreneurs in the market who are looking to own tractors, right? The payment, which is based, the payment system, which is based on the work that the tractor is doing, we only charge a repayment of up to 1,000 Kenya shillings per acre. And therefore, because the model itself is based on the work that the tractor is doing, we require the borrowers or the potential owners to book a certain number of acres in the application. So we require them to book 1,235 acres in the application. And this is what, based on the model we've worked with, this is what, once a tractor services the 1,235 acres in a year, they are comfortably able to pay for the loan itself. And the rate is 3 to 5 years term, and there's no penalty. Right. So these requirements that we have, right, are based on what the tractor is supposed to do, because the repayment bases on the tractor's activity and not necessarily what the borrower has in their bank account or in the M-Pesa account. So we look at the bookings that this borrower did, for example, for plow services or harrowing services, right? And then work a model with them that allows them to be able to comfortably pay once they do the 1,235 acres in a year. So it's very, it does not look at what you own or how much you own, but just if you're getting these tractors, you have a group of farmers that you want to service, right? And the repayment is based on that. And then it's a very simple solution, flexible and affordable. So we train, so entrepreneurs receive training on contracting business, driver training, technology, booking, farmers, and business skills. So we do realize how important it is for the entrepreneurs who join the platform through this program, right? And we do know it's not on a daily basis that you have somewhere to learn about driver training, right? So we ensure that if you're getting access to financing, you're getting access to training on tractor hiring business, your operator is getting training right now, because it's very important for them and you yourself as a new owner to understand, how does this machine operate, right? What should I look out for when I have this machine with me, right? And booking farmers through the booking application. If you have a list of 10 farmers in your community, how do you book these farmers and how are you able to track the progress of these farmers from the point of booking to the point of providing services to them, and also business skills, because we do realize it's very important to grow entrepreneurs who understand the agribusiness side of it and not just servicing farmers. Because at the end of 5 years, this equipment belongs to you and you need to understand, how do I sufficiently manage this tractor? And then step 2, the 5% down payment and the 1,235 acres pre-booked. into the application, which is vetted for financing. So we do provide a training on how to efficiently use the booking application to ensure that you're capturing the details of the farmers correctly, including the farm sizes. It's very important for us to see that the plot boundaries in the application for the farmers, which help us when it comes to vetting. And then approved entrepreneurs receive between a 65 horsepower and a 75 horsepower tractor with 2 implements. And when it comes to the implements, we look at what you've booked, right? So if you come for community where you realize it's planting, it's a planter that's highly required, or a plow service that are highly required, those are the implements that we provide to you, because we want to ensure that we're giving you implements that work for your benefit, right? You get access to the technology. You still have the ability to monitor the tractor in terms of knowing where the tractor has gone to, the amount of acres the tractor has done in a particular day, the fuel management bit of the tractor, the bookings that are coming in for the tractor. How is your driver operating when they're out in the field? Because the farmers have the ability to read how these drivers are operating in the field. So, and we emphasize and we let them know it's not just indicating 5 stars. You need to give a reason as to why you're giving this operator or driver 5 stars. So you're giving them 3 stars, it's because they performed this way. If you're giving them 5 stars, it's because you're happy with the work that they did. So it allows you a better way to understand not just the machine itself, but the performance of whoever you've employed to drive a tractor with you or for you. And then a small loan for repayment is auto deducted by ECA to pay for the loan. And then successful down payment qualifies the entrepreneur for additional contracts and the ability to refer other entrepreneurs in the country. So through the financing, a project, we're looking at financing for up to 10 million, bringing in up to 400 plus entrepreneurs under the contract, servicing farmers, increasing the livelihood of different communities. So our mission as Hello Tractor and our margin is closing the yield gap and improving livelihoods. And we have a number of statistics that have been there throughout. And currently in Kenya, we have, as Agnes mentioned, for the first batch, we financed 6 tractors in Kenya. We have a few in Nyandarua, Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, and Homa Bay, and we also financed a number of tractors in Nigeria as well. And we have seen the different types of crops that have serviced. We've seen, for example, in Nigeria, we've seen soya beans, we've seen rice. In Kenya, we've seen melons, sugarcane, potatoes that have been serviced in just between January and April. And as of date, we have currently financed, so we have financed a total of, if I add the 30 that we did last Friday in Kenya, we have financed a total of 92 tractors in 3 countries, Kenya, Nigeria, and Uganda. And we are continuing the program in financing more entrepreneurs who are interested in the project to service the farmers that they have. And as Agnes still mentioned, we're looking at 50,000 tractors in the entire continent, which will not only provide job opportunities for different groups, but also increase the food yield gap, making Africa food self-sufficient, create job opportunities for different people across the board, because this entire program is not only bringing up entrepreneurs, but creating opportunities for tractor operators, creating opportunities for tractor technicians, ensuring that smallholder farmers across Africa are getting access to mechanization services. So this is just a brief note of what different magazines and different people have said about Hello Tractor. And we are looking to shape the world and shape Africa and shape the world together with a partnership with Heifer. Thank you. And so I will welcome questions from the participants, and I can see one in the chat.
Okay.
That was it. So
Okay.
any questions that anyone may have, feel free to either raise your hand or type in the chat.
Okay. So thanks, Rispa, for that wonderful presentation. I hope it has given insights to the people who are in the meeting to just have an idea of what the Tractors for Africa is all about. And as she's just said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm seeing Anselm Mongela. I hope I've mentioned your name correctly. You can kindly unmute your mic and you can ask your question.
Yeah, you have tried to mention the name.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Anselm Mongela. My question is, you have talked about the repayment of the tractor is based on the work done by the tractor. Does it mean that if the tractor does not work, doesn't have work, you don't repay? And then the second question, on the same question, does it mean that if you use the tractor on other things, for example, transport, like you have a trailer, do you have to repay? Because the payment is based on the number of acreages that have been done or that have been booked via the Hello Tractor application. So please confirm that. Then number two, I've seen you've been issuing most of the tractors in Central Rift and Nyanza and Western. Are you also keen to finance Eastern farmers, Lower Eastern and Upper Eastern?
Thanks for that. So Rispa, you can take up the first question, and then Agnes, you can talk about the second. You can respond to the second question that's talking about areas that we're also covering. So Rispa, over to you.
Sorry, I struggled a bit to get to hear bits and pieces of your question. But then, so we are financing for two implements, right? Example, plow and harrow, right? And so we track based on the work the tractor is doing. That doesn't mean that if you booked, for example, a certain region, services is complete, and therefore the tractor just sits at home, right? So what we do is, because we know there are different seasons for different regions, we will connect you to other booking agents in other regions, right, to ensure that your tractors are the tractor is working, right? So we try as much as possible to ensure that you are connected to other booking agents across different regions in the country, so that the tractor keeps on working, right, and you're able to repay, right? So that means in itself is more of a collaboration between you as a new entrepreneur, excuse me, and the Hello Tractor team and the booking agents. So, okay. So when I talk of booking agents, Hello Tractor in itself has a number of people who book tractor services on behalf of farmers, right? And that entirely is another conversation in itself. But then those booking agents are across different countries. And what they do is that they aggregate for tractor demand. And aggregation means, instead of having individual farmers booking for tractors, which can be costly for the tractor owner and time consuming, the booking agents aggregate that demand and share that demand at once with tractor owners. But before that demand is shared, we look at the kind of demand that is being shared. One, is it aggregated enough, which means, does it make sense? What are the cost implications for a tractor owner, right? What are the costs like in those particular regions? Because you understand that different areas in this country charge different rates for different activities, right? So we work together with the agents to ensure that we can connect you to an agent who understands their region well and is able to connect you to tractor services, right? So it's more of a partnership. And if there's no work, we get it. There's no work entirely. But then we also look and see different regions that you can also get and service and service those farmers so that at least the tractor is doing something in case your region is out of season. And to your second question is, so if you have more, so we are financing one tractor and 2 implements, right? But if you have a different implement, the tractor can still service those particular, trailer or baling, for example, whichever. But then for us, it's a little bit tricky to quantify in terms of acres, right? So if it's the trailer, the application will only show us that this tractor moved from point A to point B and wouldn't necessarily give us a quantity in terms of maybe it carried 3 acres worth of this or this number of tons of sand, for example. So yes, you can service other farmers, but then with the application, we need to quantify so that we are able to calculate the correct repayment for the borrower, so we don't end up overcharging you or undercharging you. Right? So in such cases, then you would need to discuss with the portfolio manager, because each and every borrower we have on the platform has a session with the portfolio manager and the account manager, just to be able to iron out a couple of issues. So during that time, that's a conversation you have with them and letting them know, just apart from these 2 you're financing, I also have another implement, and how do I go about it? Thanks.
Agnes, if you can respond about the aspect of the coverage area, which counties are we at?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Yeah, we are, like you've rightly put, most of the tractors have gone to the Western region, the North Rift, and part of Central Rift. Yeah, that is where we are currently working, but we are also present in other counties, and there are also other new counties that we are targeting, like Nyandarua, Nyeri, Laikipia. We are present in Meru, Tharaka Nithi, and Embu. We are also present in the Lower Eastern, Makueni. That is where Heifer works. But overall, the tractor ownership is available for as many people as the tractors are available, but priority would be given to the areas where we are present currently.
Thanks, Agnes, for that. I hope we've fully responded to your question. I'm seeing there's a question from Luis. Hi, my name is Luis. I've enjoyed and learned a lot so far from the presentation. It's a good approach you have. Commercial banks demand monthly payments regardless of the plowing season. Pay-as-you-go option seems very, very well thought out. I'm already a tractor owner at ET552WD. My main challenge is aggregation of customers. Is there a platform I can be onboarded on for business development? Also, I do have tracking, but it's only a trip recorder and location informer. It doesn't show acres plowed. Any help on this too? Rispa, can you respond to that particular question?
Yes, thank you so much for your question, Luis. Yes, so besides, as I mentioned, that is when you go there, it's kind of out of the pay-as-you-go program, but essentially what Hello Tractor does is the application that we have allows tractor owners the ability to monitor their tractors remotely through the mobile application. Right? So you're able to see the acre serviced, the routes your operator took when they left the home base. You're able to receive bookings from different agents across the country, right? As long as we have booking agents in those countries, right? So one thing we can do for you, Louise, is you can share your contact details in the chat, and we can discuss on the different packages we provide as Hello Tractor that allows you better manage your tractors, including seeing the number of acres that your tractor has done, be it day, week, month, in 3 months, in 6 months, regardless of what you want to see. So the application in itself allows you to do that, allows you to keep track of the operators. Anytime it goes out to service farmers, you get ratings, right? the operator gets ratings or your driver gets ratings, which gives you a better understanding of how they're performing while they're out in the field. So yes, there's a platform that you can be onboarded that allows you to do just that. And you don't have to keep following your tractor everywhere it goes. You can do that through either the mobile application or through the web application. It allows you to see any details regarding your tractor. Hope I've answered your question.
Okay, just to ask RISPA, what are some of the requirements, just an overview of the requirements that are now, like for Lewis, what does he need to provide so that he can be onboarded? Can you just talk about that just very briefly?
Okay, quite simple. He's a tractor owner, that's all we need from him. Like, you're a tractor owner, you're looking for something to better manage your tractor, that's it. That's all we want. So once we do the onboarding for someone like Louis, we'll just need to capture the tractor details because that's what's most important. When any tractor, any farmer is asking, any farmer or any booking agent, they look at what does this tractor has. It's you said it's a TT two-wheel. You capture those details. Which implements do you have with your tractor? Capture those details because those are the details of the tractor that the farmers and the booking agents will look at when they are making a booking. So all we need to know is, are you interested in getting it? Where is your tractor located? What implements do your tractor have? And then we'll take you through the onboarding process, which includes installing a monitoring device. That device then transmits data to the mobile application. And it's tailored and configured to work remotely. As even in regions where there's low connectivity, the device will still function. When it gets to a region where there's better connectivity, you'll only sync up with the application and you still have your details.
Okay, thanks. And Louis, we're looking forward to having you on board as well. So I see we are like 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Is there anyone who has a pressing question before I move to the next brief session? Okay, so but in case of anything before we get to the top of the hour, if you have a question, kindly feel free to use the chat box. So now I'd like to call and request my colleague Francis. With all this, having talked about the Hello Tractor, how it works, and Heifer International and the Tractors for Africa initiative, that is all about tractor financing. What next? What would you like to tell the partners who are here? What is the next step? So maybe Francis, you can just take us through that very briefly.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth, for that. I think what we are requesting is you have had the information. You need to. It's a very important opportunity that we feel as an organization, through as well as together with our partners, you should take. And our role is to make the information available. So definitely what we are requesting you is to take up that opportunity and, sign up, if you have more information, and this is just a summary. I know there are some people who, and even as I speak, I'm admitting some people into the session, but this is basically a summary of what we are requesting, what we are inviting you to do. Do you want to become that, entrepreneur that want to pick up this opportunity? So RISPA has spoken about the requirements, and we have, the acreage that you need to aggregate the down payment that you need to make, that it is 5%, and what you stand to gain. So ideally, what we would want you to do is also think about, you watch the video. It's not just about being a tractor owner. You saw that what we are doing is to impact the small farmers, and you got to see some testimony from farmers who are benefiting from from that. We also got to see the tractor operators. Employment is being created by people owning tractor. Mechanization is being made easy. Access to mechanization is being made easy. So we are very, very, very excited. And so we request you, first of all, to share the information, I think one of the things we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to share the video that we promised, because there was a bit of a lag in terms of the way the images, so you can get to watch it at your own time. So what we want you to request also share that information. What we can also share is a document with some of the frequently asked information that are going to also help you to understand things deeper. This session is very, very brief, but there is a lot of information that you can learn. When we do these sessions, in person, when we hold this training, it is usually almost a full day session, because you need also to train other things that maybe we have not touched here. But given the opportunity, we are going to tackle those in future sessions. Okay. So we request you to keep in touch. We have given you a call center. If you look at my screen, there is a number there that you can call. That is the Hello Tractor call center. And in case you have any question, you can always ask. We're also sharing this information on social media. You can look at Heifer Kenya, and this is primarily where we have been sharing this information about the session, about the project. So please look out for those, and of course, share information with your network. I know you are in farmer group, you are in social network, you are in WhatsApp group for your cooperative, farmer groups, professional groups, people who are interested in farming. The information we are going, the package, the information pack that we are going to share, we request you to kindly share with them, so that this opportunity can go to as many people as possible, because we believe in the farmers. As Agnes said, the future for us at Heifer International is farmers. So thank you very much, Elizabeth. Maybe you can give maybe the new entrants, in case they have any question or there is any other burning question. I request you, Elizabeth, to give them that last opportunity before we conclude.
Okay, I've just seen what is the application process? What is the issue? When is the next issue of tractors to applicants? I think you've already responded to that. Tony is asking that we share the presentation recordings. We're going to share that with you, just as Francis has said. My name is Pascal from Ghana, and highly interested in your program. How can I participate in the entrepreneur training program? Maybe Agnes, you can talk about that just very briefly. Hello, you are required to fill the application form. Or I think RISPA was responding to Pascal, right? So you're required to fill the application form, right?
I was responding to Anselm.
Okay, yeah, sure. So there's Teresia. This initiative is very nice. I hope we'll have you soonest in Nyandarua. Francis, you can be able, I think you passed by Nyandarua, right? You can just give a clarification. Yeah, they did move to Nyandarua, but now maybe we can pick up the conversation with you from there. We'll share the links with Agribiz networks who are interested in getting your concept. Thank you very much. So I think, as Francis has said, we have a call center. Kindly call, in touch. We're trying to have these sessions as many as possible, so that if, and I know we have one, perhaps we'll be communicating on when we'll be having the next session, so that we can keep up to date. In case somebody missed the first one or the second one, they can be able to join the next one. So now that it's at 11 a.m., I want to thank you very much for joining this session. It was a pleasure for us getting to engage with you. Also, your questions as you ask, it also helps us to improve on how we package this information, and how we also, in the next presentation, we can be able to respond to the questions that are frequently asked. So now I'd like to thank you and officially say goodbye. Keep safe, even as you're going to, I know we're going to the election periods in a couple of days' time. I really wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward to either engaging with you in the next session, or also as we are looking at engaging in the Tractors for Africa financing. So have a lovely day and also a great week ahead. Thank you very much and goodbye.